Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the Wolverine and the X-Men Omnibus that was just recently reprinted. So without further ado, let's get right into the book. Okay guys, and here is the cover that I went with. I chose this one because one, I prefer the art style over the other one, which is a little more stylistic, and two, I'm always a big sucker for homages to Giant Size X-Men #1, which is what this cover is. And for the spine lovers, here's the spine of the book. It's a white one, which I'm not usually the biggest fan of, but I do like it, the gold font against the white background. I think that looks nice. And then here's the back of the book. It's of course another homage to a very classic X-Men cover, and it says "School's in, and now Wolverine is the headmaster." And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. Alright, here's the book, Wolverine and the X-Men by Jason Aaron. So what this collects is Wolverine and the X-Men, of course, number 1 through 35, number 38 through 42, and annual number 1. And that's it. It's all pretty straightforward. But what is Wolverine and the X-Men? Why is it Wolverine and the X-Men? Well, basically what this run is Wolverine goes back to Westchester and he actually starts his own new school. And I think it's called like the Jean Grey School. Yeah, it's called the Jean Grey School. And it's, you know, a place just like what Charles Xavier's academy was for mutants. But Wolverine is the headmaster here. And there's a whole new cast of characters that are the student body. And I'll be pretty upfront with you guys and let you know what I think about this. It's fun. It's very lighthearted, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, and I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I do other X-Men books that I've consumed. And I think there are a few key problems for me that made it so I couldn't get that invested in this book. First of all, the art style isn't something that I'm particularly fond of. I can tell there's a lot of talent and hard work that went into it, but it's a style that is not like hitting it for me, you know? But that's a very minor thing, and you might very well like the art style of this book. Kind of a major problem for me, though, was the characterization of some of the fan favorite characters that we've grown to love over the years. I didn't necessarily feel like they were incorrect characterizations, but they all sort of felt very shallow. And that's possibly because this book has a lighter, more comedic tone, like I said, but I think you can do comedy and lightheartedness and sort of the teen angst vibe while still having your characters be true to who they are and digging deep into their lives and issues and everything that has been part of the comic continuity for the years prior. There's also just some really weird like plotline stuff that they do with certain characters, like for example with Kitty Pryde and Iceman. They try to sort of, you know, set them up romantically, which is just a relationship that I feel like even in this book where they were trying to make it work has zero chemistry. Like those two don't really go together in that way, if you know what I mean. But maybe that's also just personal bias. I also frankly just find it a little weird that Wolverine is like the headmaster of the Jean Grey Academy at this time. It just seems like there's a moment in the beginning of the book where Charles Xavier is like, of all the students, I never thought you would be the one to, you know, take up the mantle and be like the headmaster of your own mutant academy. And like as the reader, you're like, yeah, I never thought that either. But then Charles Xavier is like, but it totally makes sense now that I think about it. But it doesn't expand upon that. And I don't know how it makes sense. And it's weird because Wolverine, like during the day, is doing his normal school stuff. And then at night, he's still a part of X-Force and is just like murdering people who need to be murdered, you know, getting done what needs to get done. But I don't know, there's an interesting dichotomy there that I feel like wasn't explored well enough either, and I wanted to know more about that. Like, why is Wolverine the right choice for that? You can show us, you can tell us, but I don't think they really did either of that, at least successfully in this book. And I don't mean to rag on the book, you know, I do think it was fun, it made me laugh at times. There are certain characters in the new cast of mutants that I love, like Shark Girl, I love Eye-Boy, I love Brew. Brew was one of my favorite characters, who is this little mutant brood alien that joins the academy. Character that I also was really annoyed by that they give a lot of attention to and time to in the story is Quentin Quire, Kid Omega or Omega Kid, I forget which one it is, but I just find him so infuriatingly annoying. He is miserable to read. He's so giving off these like strong incel character vibes, which is not something I really want in my X book, at least not in the narrative way that they chose to do it with him. But that's also maybe a minor complaint. Maybe a lot of you guys like Quentin Quire, but I'm not the biggest fan of that character, and he gets a lot of attention in this book. Another problem, and again, I'm sorry to be so negative with the book, but I just gotta let you know before you buy it, or if you're considering buying it, that there are some issues that I found, But it was slightly annoying that Avengers versus X-Men happens in the middle of this book, so as we're, getting the narrative just starting, learning more about the Academy and how things are gonna operate day to day there, we get all the Phoenix 5 stuff that interferes, and, I'm lucky enough to have known a little bit more about Avengers vs. X-Men without having read it, but they don't explain a lot of the stuff either, so it will be really confusing to you if you haven't read Avengers vs. X-Men and you don't know about the Phoenix 5. So fair warning there, if you haven't read that stuff, you might be confused for a little bit, or just be like, what is going on, But, maybe pick up this book if you're looking for something a lot more casual that has some of your favorite X-Men characters in it and some new ones that we've started to see grow more in the modern era. And also, let me know what you guys think of this book. I'm not sure if I have an unpopular opinion. I think I might in this case, because I think I've heard a lot of people praise this book, but I want to know what you think. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.